So, um, I so I wanted to hop on here today because I feel like I haven't been on this week. To be honest, I'm really ready for this whole retrograde season to be over because I feel like as much as I've learned in this last season, like it's been a lot. It's been a lot over these last couple of weeks, and I'm just glad to be in a place where I can actually think and put cohesive thoughts together. And so I wanted to hop on because life has really been life, and lately I feel like what's crazy about it is that like I feel like life is going in the way that I wanted to go. Like I'm actually seeing reflections back for all of the work that I've been putting out. Why do I look so hold on, yeah. I'm actually seeing like life start to, respond to me basically, and me getting back, all that I've been working for, which is really good. But I also think that it just was a lot of energy shifts and a lot of changes this month. I learned a lot about duality this month. I feel like, meaning like you can hold grief and you can hold sadness and still have fun. Like I feel like I'm either one or the other, or like one polarity or the other. And this month really taught me that it doesn't matter what you're going through. Like it's there's still space for you to have fun and for you to exist and just try new things. Like this weekend, I went to um what do you call that, Blue Note, and it's basically like a jazz club or whatever. And I went with my friend. It was like her grandma's 88th birthday. It was a really good time, but we danced the whole entire night, like had such a good time. And it just reminded me, like, I feel like that specific interaction was like showing me that it is okay for me to open up again. Like I feel like I am usually like a person who's like I'm goofy, but if I'm not drinking or nothing like that, I'm just kind of out the way in like those type of scenes. And it was interesting because me and my friend, we were dancing, like we it was like a guy who was there who also was like having fun because like everybody just kind of gravitated towards us because we were just like having a good time in the back. And this older white guy came over and he was like dancing with us and was like, that side is born, whatever. He paid for like everything for the night. It was like a good time, and I feel like I haven't had a good time like that in a very long time, where I was just being myself and not like concerned about what was going on around me, like feeling safe, like just vibing. And so that was really fun. And I also feel like I also was able to realize like the people I feel like in my life who have like basically worked as handlers, meaning like that they literally have done certain things throughout my life to keep me small, and how I need to kind of get out of that. And I recently started, I guess, opening myself back up to relationships and like just talking to my family, and like because I feel like I've been isolated for at least these last 4 years that I've been in Cali, because this week made not this week, last week made 4 years in LA. And so I feel like these 4 years that I've been, because I'm like 2,000 miles away from home, I've been really isolated, but I also have been on my spiritual journey. And I think I had a bit of avoidance going on, where I was just trying to not let anybody close to me because I had been disappointed by so many people. It's like I was tired of the betrayal, the disappointment, like all of the things. And I just was tired of everybody, like kind of like defeated. But this past week, I had started landing my, like I literally realized in that moment where I was in the jazz club and I was having a good time, I was just like, you need to allow yourself to have friends, because I'm not allowing myself to do it. It's not that, it's like I'm trying to protect myself from it. And it's like these moments where we have an opportunity to connect and I choose not to, or these moments where we have an opportunity to show up for me or I choose not to. And so like this last week, I have been letting people back in, like my family, and like talk, like I called my cousin who I haven't talked to in a minute. Like me and her have always been like this, and we just cried on the phone. And it was just like, she was just like, I miss you. And I'm like, girl, I miss you too. I don't know what has been wrong with me. I just have been finding reasons to like excommunicate myself from my community. And so like this weekend was interesting because I started breaking those barriers again, and I realized that like most of us are just operating based off of what we think is going to happen, not what's actually happening. And you got to give people a chance to see you. I think I guess the biggest thing that I've taken away from these fucking shit show cycles I've been going through this whole entire month is that healing is about allowing yourself to be witnessed. It's about allowing yourself to be seen. It's not like that's the whole goal of it, is to allow yourself to exist fully and not care about how everybody else is perceiving you, and allowing yourself to be seen and open, because that's the only way for you to fully be open, is if you allow yourself to be seen, and like your capacity to be able to do that. And so I think because most of us haven't really been taught how to energetically protect ourselves, we close off altogether. Like we disconnect ourselves from feeling because we don't want to feel hurt or pain or trauma or whatever the fuck else, fear. And I'm just excited because I think that I've been working on this soul school and putting that together, Akara. I've been working on that for these last couple of months, and I've realized that this is going to be such a great thing, because this is the stuff that I feel like we should have been taught in school. It's the conversations that I feel like we don't have enough, or we don't have at all. I'm doing it in a way where I don't end up being burnt out, and I don't end up like using myself up to capacity. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels like I'm finally in alignment. Everything is not perfect, which is okay, because I don't think perfection is ever the goal. I think authenticity is the goal. I think honesty is the goal. I think allowing yourself to be witnessed is the goal. And so that was great for me to come to that understanding, because it changes the way that I move through life. But I also think another big understanding that I came to is that my value does not come from how much I produce. It does not come from what I do or what I can offer. My value comes from my depth. It comes from my impact. And I think, especially because we just went through this water trine, and we're still kind of in this water trine where like wherever you have your water signs in your astrology chart, like there's a transit moving through there, right? And so for me, I have a Scorpio moon in the second house, which means depth is where my value comes from. And that's the understanding I came to. But I also have Pisces in my sixth house, which means that like my career, my daily habits and things like that. And then Cancer is in my 10th house, which is reputation, public image. So like, not only is this school right on time, it's energetically aligned, so I'm almost completely done with the app, and I'm really excited about the app. I'm going to make like a side, because I think what I'm going to end up doing is like getting rid of Patreon. And I think that I'm just going to push people towards the app, because there's a guest section where you can come in and still have community and stuff like that, even if you're not in school. I'm also going to be like offering like sound bowl sessions, or like sessions where people might come in and speak, and it'll be a part of like everybody will have access to that, instead of just like the people who are going to the school. So I'm like in the process of that, like I'm going through applications, because right now I think I'm in like 50 something, like 55 or 56 applications right now for how many people have applied for Soul School. So I'm combing through those and getting ready to send out emails for that. There's just a lot going on, like a lot of good things that I feel like are aligned, and I get excited about getting up and actually doing the things that I'm, partaking in. So it's just a good feeling. Also too, I want to say, if you purchased a deck from me pre-order, I am still refunding those right now. I'm doing 3 each week, and I've been sticking to 3 each week. I just need y'all to bear with me with that, but I just want to keep giving y'all update anytime that I get online and stuff, just so y'all know I've not forgotten about y'all. I promise y'all, it is coming back to you. I'm trying to go in order from like when people purchased, so yeah. Hey SLC. Hey Stoner Cowboy. Hey Hydra. Who else is in here? Hey Natural Baby. Hey y'all. But yeah, it just feels good to like actually get up in the morning and like be passionate about what you're doing, and like it just seems like the messages keep flowing. Like even when hey Rhea, even when I'm like sitting in my bed and sitting in silence, it's like I'm getting messages like about restoring self-respect as a frequency. Hey Brianna girl. But restoring self-respect as a frequency, like I keep getting messages about compassion and empathy, and how most people can experience empathy but not compassion. And I'm getting messages about anchoring in the truth, and like what true energetic sovereignty means, what true safety means, and And it's just good. It just feels really good to be in flow. Like I feel like I'm in flow. Like every single day I wake up, it's like, okay, I get up, I work out, I do all of the things. Yeah, you can get a reading, Monty. I do all of the things, and I don't know, it just feels good. So I got a client in like 55 minutes. So I did get on here to do some readings. I was gonna do $11 readings, which is a 3 card pull from the Oversoul deck. Which I always get on here and do those readings. So if you're interested, um, either Cash App or Zelle. I can't put it in a chat. So if somebody could put it in a chat, that would be great. Because it always blocks me when I do it from my side. But the Cash App is TAJA. Sorry, no, it's not. The Cash App is Big Taj with 3 J's. So BIGTAJJJ. That's Cash App. It's $11 a reading. And then when it comes to Zelle, it's Taja Moore 16. So TAJAMOORE 16 @gmail. Thank you, Brianna. You were in my dream last night. What did I do in your dream last night? Was I helping you? Please say I was helping you. Thank you, Hija, baby. What was the dream about? I need the deets. Hopefully I was helping. Like I feel like sometimes when you can't remember your dream, like sometimes we don't remember our dreams because we be doing spiritual work. And it's not for us, this version of us to remember right now. Okay. Oh, girl, I got your application. Sweetie, so I'll do you first, babe. Because I just got your Cash App just came through. But I got your application. I just went through your application the other day. I'm still working on responding to people because I have three people that'll be guiding us in the school. And so they're gonna help with doing some of the consultations and stuff like that. Or like interviews for people to come in. So yeah, girl. All right. So let's see what we got for you, my love. This is for you, sweetie. Is that what they say, sweetie? Yeah. Okay. This is for you. Let's see what we get. Okay. And so what I'm going to do today is some 3 card pulls. I'm excited too. Like going through these applications. I don't know that I was expecting to get that many applications. Like not right now, just because like I'm still in the state, like the process of building it. But baby, they've been flying through. I think I'm at like 56. I just got like three, 4 more in like the last 20 minutes of me being done, going to make me some pizza, coming back, and so I'm just excited. Like I cannot wait to share this with y'all. I think it's going to be a space that promotes curiosity, and like I'm also going to open it up to where if y'all have any questions or if y'all have any things that y'all want me to tap into, like channel and read about that y'all have questions about, like I'm going to do that as well. Like it's just going to be very interactive. I want it to be like our school, not just my school, so I'm excited. I'm over the moon. I cannot wait till y'all see this because it's probably the best thing I've probably ever done in my life. So yeah. So the first thing I get for you, babe, is the 6 of water in return, in shadow. Okay. So this is coming out in the shadow. So this is about escapism. Sometimes it's about romanticizing the past, the fear of growing up or clinging to specific identities that probably need to dissolve. So in the shadow, the soul memory becomes a fantasy loop. You may become stuck in the comfort of who you once were, longing for the past to return or idolizing a time that never truly existed. I think sometimes we create versions of the life that we want in our head and we're chasing that thing. Or versions of people that we want in our head, and we're chasing that thing based off of potential and not like what's actually in front of us. So what this card is saying is there may be resistance to the present moment or avoidance of growth. This card can also point to emotional regression, falling into old patterns or roles because they feel safe, even when they're no longer aligned. Sometimes the past is beautiful, but it's not meant to be relived. It's meant to be integrated. Okay. So what this advice is honor the past, but do not live there. It's okay to honor the past, just don't live there. And I don't know why I keep hearing Capricorn in my head. Capricorn. So I don't know if you got Capricorn energy, but I need to say that so that they can shut up. Next, I get the Waiting Flame, and this is also coming out in shadow. And so the waiting flame is about impatience. It's about self-doubt. It's about abandoning the process too early, like rushing your harvest. There's being a mistrust in things working out the way that you want them to work out, which can cause you to kind of pull up your roots too soon. So in the shadow, the waiting flame becomes unbearable. You may feel tempted to abandon your path out of frustration or fear that nothing is happening. Perhaps you've pulled up your roots too early in the past, searching for faster results or clearer signs. The truth is your doubt may be louder than your devotion right now. This card warns against interrupting divine cycles. Impatience can lead to sabotage. When your ego demands proof, it often digs up what the soul is still tending. You may feel discouraged, unseen, or restless, but this is not the time to quit. This is the time for you to deepen. And so the question becomes, can you love something enough to let it take its time? And so the advice here is don't harvest a gift before it becomes itself. And so I think what we struggle with in society is slow mastery. I think we are so used to everything being at our fingertips. I think starting with millennials, because we were like in that middle ground of when social media came about, right? And so everything where we had to go to the library and search before, like everything became at our fingertips. And so we struggle a little bit when things aren't happening quickly, and it causes us to abandon the process before the time is necessary. And then the last card I get for you is the King of Stone. This is also out of alignment. And this is coming out in shadow, and this is over control, rigidity, fear-based leadership, dominance, and disconnection from intuition. So in the shadow, the stone steward may become over-identified with structure. You may be clinging to old systems, roles, or responsibilities out of fear, afraid that if you let go, it'll fall apart. Leadership can become burdensome, and success may feel isolating. You may also be using structure to avoid vulnerability or intuition, leaning too hard on plans and logic or control while forgetting the living nature of what you're building. And so this card warns against letting the temple become a fortress, and it asks you to ask yourself, is this still aligned, or am I maintaining this thing out of fear? And so the advice here is build for freedom, not just for function. And so pretty much all of these cards that are coming together, sweetie, are about learning how to release control, learning how to surrender, learning how to be devoted to what it is that you say that you want, and giving it time to manifest, giving it time to show up in your reality, and just trusting in the process before you abandon it because it's not happening according to your plan. And I think sometimes when we live in the future, a lot of us are living in the future, meaning like we have these ideas of what we want to come about. And so we want it to happen in a specific way, but because we don't allow it to happen the way that it happens and release the outcome, what happens is it delays the process, right? Because it could be coming in through any avenue, but because you're sold on this one and you're dedicated to this one, you don't see everything else that's available to you. And so this card is important, or this reading is important, because it's basically telling you to let go of control, because that's surrender really is true control. Allow things to mature. Okay. So the person said, I didn't write it down, but from what I remember, we were talking about spiritual topics. It felt like you were mentoring me, but you told me it's nothing you can tell that I don't already know. Exactly. There is nothing that I can tell you that you don't already know. Because everything is confirmation. Everything is something you are remembering. And so that's good. Like, I'm happy. I don't know what it is about, because I don't remember being there, but I'm happy that I showed up, and it was in good spirits, period. All right. Next we got Hydra. Let's see what we got for our girl Hydra. Did you have any feedback, sweetie, or did that make sense to you? Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I see you. Sorry, I can't see the bottom of my screen. Let me make this up, y'all. I worked out this morning, and I just said, yeah, we're not doing my hair today. It's just gonna have to be what it is. Oh, you're welcome, my love. All right, this is for Hydra. Whew. Oh, did you? Okay, this card flipped backwards, and so we got to see what this is about. I got 3 different readings about something today. If you mention it, I'll know. Okay. All right, what does Hydra need today? Okay. So let's see. So the first card that I get for you is the Page of Flame, but this is coming out in the shadow side. So this is about impulsiveness. ungrounded energy, a lack of follow through, and a fear of depth, and also spiritual bypassing as well. Um, yeah, I have. I know who he is. Billy Carson. I do. So in the shadow, the page can become reckless, scattered, or avoidant of deeper responsibility. You may leap from spark to spark without integration or resist structure and depth in fear of losing freedom. Sometimes this card appears when we use spiritual or creative energy to avoid the discomfort of the inner work. The flame stays lit and flashy, but it never anchors. But remember, the child of fire becomes the keeper of it if they choose to stay present long enough to learn. And so this card is it's okay to play with your fire, but do not abandon it when it asks to become real. And so this really is a card about integration, making sure that you're not just you're talking the talk and walking the walk and not just talking without the walking, right? That's what this card is about. The second card that I get for you is the Five of Stone. Okay. And this actually came out, this actually came out in the shadow side as well. And so this is the card of scarcity. And so in the shadow side, this is about over identifying with struggle, martyrdom, unworthiness, fear of abundance. So in the shadow, the Five of Stone becomes a cycle of self-abandonment. You may have learned to expect lack even when abundance is available. Perhaps rejection has etched itself into your identity, and you've come to believe that being unsupported is proof of your purpose. This card may also point to emotional or energetic exile as well, feeling left out, undervalued, or unseen. In these moments, it's easy to internalize the external and decide that the world's silence means that you're unworthy. And this is a great distortion. So the truth is that your worth was never dependent on who chose you. You're already chosen. The shadow of sacred lack dissolves the moment that you claim yourself. And so the advice here is don't build a home from what was never meant to hold you, meaning like go where you're received, right? But also, I think we often only talk about scarcity when it comes to money, but you can also have scarcity in relationships. And this is basically scarcity is knowing your worth. Scarcity comes from not knowing your worth. And so in order to restore the balances in energy, you have to know your worth, and you also have to understand energy exchange, meaning that you need to also be in a receiving energy. You can't be everything to everybody and not expect anything back in return. And so what this card is really saying is like hyper independence sometimes is a trauma response. It's not beneficial for you to be in relationships with people and not receive anything back, because then you're going to start to resent that person and feel like, um, unseen, undervalued, and left out. But really, you're creating the dynamic. And then the last thing is the Three of Waters. And this is the remembering circle. And this is about community. It's about your soul family. Okay. So this says, the joy and belonging, remembrance through community, heart resonance, ceremonial joy. The Three of Waters is a ceremonial return to togetherness. It marks the joy of reunion where kindred souls come together, not for survival, but for celebration. You may find yourself entering a sacred circle, a creative collaboration, a spiritual gathering, or a joyful friendship that feels like home. In this card, we witness the emotional relief of being known. You no longer have to translate your frequency. There's laughter, tenderness, and shared moments. And this is not ordinary community. It's a soul family drawn together by the river of remembrance. You're invited to honor joy as ceremony and to trust that you don't have to walk your path in isolation. Let others witness your blooming. Let joy be shared. And so the lesson here is joy deepens when it's witnessed. I know what this card is about. But the other two is about the first card is about making sure that you're actually integrating what it is that you've learned. And I think one of the things that I feel like I struggle with a lot is letting people in, and so like after getting this card that's about making sure that you don't abandon stuff when it becomes real, making sure that you're not in this avoidant energy, and then followed by the card of scarcity. Like there might be a need for you to relook at the energetic exchanges in your life or the relationships in your life and make sure that you're not trying to fix people, save people, heal people. Instead, you are aligning with people who are already where you are, and you're going where you're received. That's what I got from that. So that was you, Hydra girl. Brianna, you are next. Okay, that makes sense. Wait, did it answer what you was looking for though? Like, what did you get in your other readings? Deaf have learned to stop trying to fix people. It's a constant battle, though. It really is. Like, I think because a part of us thinks that that makes us feel safe if we can control how people are showing up. Hey, Deja. Um, it's like a false sense of control because if you can get them to act right, then you get to be comfortable. You ain't gotta babysit them and all of these things. No, sister girl, I've been asking about pregnancy. Oh, child. Oh, child. Are you ready for another one? My goodness. Oh, your solar plexus was purging. You know what? I actually just went through a solar plexus purge as well, though, and it has something to do with the retrograde cycle. Um, so yeah, I forgot what I don't know why I feel like it was Uranus moving back into from Scorpio back into Taurus, but I would have to relook at my notes. I was scared my stomach was cleaning now. Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. I understand. Yeah, no. This is about going where you received. This is for you, Brianna. What do we got from Brianna? Let's see. What do we have for our Brianna? Okay. Okay. Ooh, I don't know why my energy just got scattered right there. It's almost like I couldn't think straight for a second. Okay. And this one was upright, but it bounced into the shadow. Okay, so the first card I get for you is the Four of Stone, and this is about the guarded flame. Okay, this is coming out of alignment, and this usually has to do with fear of loss or a lack mindset, a mistrust, overprotection, or isolation. So in the shadow, the Four of Stone becomes a locked vault. You may be clinging too tightly to time, energy, money, or attention, afraid there won't be enough if you open your hand. This card reflects a mistrust of abundance, often rooted in past scarcity or betrayal. Okay, you might also be holding your gifts too closely, afraid to share them in case they're misunderstood, stolen, or undervalued. While it's wise to move with discernment, the guarded flame can become a prison when built from fear. So this card in shadow invites a deep breath, a softening, a remembering that true security does not come from withholding, it comes from alignment. And so the advice of this card is you're not safe because you hide, you're safe because you trust. And so this card is talking about there might have been some past betrayals or things that have happened in your life that have caused you to kind of close off and understand that you don't need to be less of yourself. You need to trust more and get around people who are aligned with you. Okay. Next I get the Knight of Breath. And this is also coming out in the shadow side. And this is about forceful speech. Sometimes it could be having a sharp tongue, using the truth as a weapon, things like that. And so in the shadow, the Knight of Breath becomes impatient and reactive. You may be rushing to speak before fully listening or using truth to dominate rather than connect. The mind becomes a sword that cuts indiscriminately, sometimes out of fear, sometimes pride. And there's also a risk of spiritual elitism here too. I know better, so you must do what I say. That type of energy. The breath becomes heavy, quick becomes careless, and this is a mirror moment. Are you moving from clarity or ego dressed in wisdom? The advice here is that truth without compassion is just another weapon. I don't know why I feel like this energy is towards you though. I don't know what that means for you, but I don't know why I feel like this is towards you or something. And there might be some mirroring energy happening. But then the last card that I get is the Nine of Waters, and this is in reverse. Okay, so this is about overflow, but in reverse. And so in the shadow side, this is about spiritual bypassing, false joy, chasing pleasure, ignoring the deeper wounds, or emotional avoidance. So in the shadow, the overflow becomes a mask of joy, smiling while pain brews beneath. You may use pleasure, distraction, or spiritual talk to avoid deeper emotional healing. There can also be a sense of chasing the feeling of abundance without embodying the choices that lead to it. There's a difference between being full and being bloated. One is resonance and the other is escape. So this card asks you, are you truly fulfilled, or are you just refusing to feel what still needs to be seen by you? So the advice here is that joy that hides pain isn't overflow, it's overflow with a leak. And so this card is about being honest with yourself and being honest about where you are, and not always putting on a good face if you don't feel like putting on a good face. Like, it's okay for you to be where you are. It also talks about, again, this is about using the truth as a weapon. And so I think sometimes when we're hurt or we feel betrayed, which is this first card, I think sometimes what we end up doing is just mirroring people back, giving them the shit that they're giving back to us. But I don't know why I feel like this is geared towards you. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. And that was for Brianna. Brianna, are you still on here? Hey, Lisa. My bad, I was taking groceries in, but yeah, I feel like that dream came up because I was wanting to apply for your school, but I had to reevaluate the reasons. Oh, okay. Like, I felt that I was coming from a belief of lack. Okay, I totally understand that. And I appreciate you taking the time to sit with that, because going through some of the applications, I realized that I needed to set a better standard, because a lot of people are rushing through it, and I really want y'all to take y'all time, because this is really about me getting my first impression of you, getting an understanding of where you are on your journey and your capacity to witness yourself. Yes, thank you. My birthday was yesterday and I was so emotional. So still deciphering that. Okay, I got you. Happy birthday, my girl. Hey, Laura. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Happy birthday, my love. I don't know why I feel like I need to tell you, don't think that you're going backwards. Like, don't think that you failed. I don't know why I feel like there's this feeling of failure or something. Like, don't think that you're going backwards or that you failed. I think that everything is kind of being knocked over because it needs to be built on a better foundation. I think you're changing. And so I think when you change, sometimes things don't move with us, and I think that you're changing for the better. And so you just got to learn how to give yourself grace and nurture yourself through it. Because it just feels like something was misaligned and it needed to be in alignment for you to reach this next step. And so don't think that you're going backwards or anything, because that's not something I feel. All right. Sorry. Nobody sent anything. Hey, Shakira. So I'm doing readings right now, $11 readings, guys. I almost felt like I should feel happy, but I wasn't. You know what? It's okay. Be where you are. Like, I think that, sorry. I think that when we move based off of what we think should happen, what? Hold on real quick. I think when we move based off of what should happen, that's us living in the future and not where we actually are right now. So I think it's really important that you acknowledge where you are, what your needs are, and know that it's okay if you didn't feel good. It truly is. Okay. Just making sure ain't nobody sending anything through that. So yeah, if you want to read in right now, I have about 30 minutes before I take a client. I'm doing $11 readings. My cash app is BIGTAJJJ with 3 J's. So yeah. But I totally understand that though, Brianna. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I think that at certain points in my journey, I felt like because I had come to realization or I got the answers to certain things that I think my whole life I had been looking for the answers to or understanding about, that it was going to make me happy and it didn't, or like those moments where I thought because somebody validated my experience that was going to make me happy and it didn't, and like I think that it caused me to kind of rush through where I was. And so don't feel like you need to be anywhere that you're not, my love. Be kind to yourself, give yourself grace, love on yourself, and give the same compassion you give to other people, extend it to yourself as well. Because it's necessary. You know, I actually um was realizing recently that I was spiritual bypassing with a specific family member that I love this person down. But I think that I have not acknowledged enough how much trauma I had experienced and how much that broke my heart. And so, one thing that I went through last week is like I broke down and I was like, having my moment crying, whatever. I got to get it up off me. Don't judge me. But I had my moment. And when I was having my moment, I realized that there were so many times where I was too understanding, meaning that something hurt me, but because the person came to me and was like transparent about where they were or apologized, that I did not create space for me to navigate what I was feeling in that moment. I felt like I didn't have a right to be mad, or I didn't have a right to feel hurt because they apologized or they held themselves accountable, but it still didn't undo um the hurt that came with that thing. And so I cried last week because I was like realizing that it's okay for me to have accepted somebody's apology and still have been hurt by the things that I've been hurt by. And I think that in certain relationships, because y'all are family, like you are conditioned to accept abuse, especially if you're the one who's always being understanding and like the other person went through something traumatic. And so you think that you showing up for them is you not causing a problem or you not telling them how their behavior is impacting you, because that's you keeping the peace or trying not to put more on their plate. But it doesn't negate the fact that that person is still hurting you or antagonizing you or whatever the case may be, because hurt people tend to turn around and hurt other people. And so I realized this week that I've accepted abuse from a lot of people in my life because I understood why they were abusing me. But that's not justification for staying. Like, I think you still can look at somebody and say, okay, I understand. There's no need for me to take this personal. However, I still deserve better, And so like I had to unpack me abandoning myself because I was just understanding other people. So yeah, we live and we learn. That's all I'm saying. We live and we learn. Hey, Tanique. Um, we live and we learn. But I was hey, Shakara. Sorry, I'm just trying to, hey, Loyal Love. I'm just trying to go up and see who I missed. Um, but yeah, like I feel like this month was so deep. Like I feel like some of the things that I have been struggling to put together kind of came together nicely this month. It was like everything that I thought I knew deepened to some capacity. And I realized some things about, people that I love or people who um, I don't want to disappoint. Oh, well, I understand someone who I always wanted to see me and celebrate me finally did yesterday. And I was so grateful and disappointed. Yes, I think that's what I'm learning too, Brianna, is nuance. I think multiple things can exist at once. And because we live in a society that thinks very linearly, that we don't realize that multiple things can exist at once. I could love you and you could have still hurt me. I could be grateful that you are finally seeing me, but also disappointed that it took you this motherfucking long. Like I think that the I'm learning that multiple things can hold space and that I need to acknowledge. It's like you don't have to choose a path. Like I think that you can acknowledge, like, I am really glad that you see me now, but like, where were you the last 30 something years? Am I supposed to be like patting you on the back because you see me? But I've known you for 30 years. You've never. So I think both things can exist, but that was just one layer of the emotion, right? Yeah, yeah. I think I'm learning that. Like I'm learning that. I mean, I think I know that. Like I intellectually know that, but like realizing it in the process of things happening is another story. And so this weekend, I just not even this weekend, but like the week before, like before I realized why I wasn't letting people in, I was just like, oh, it's just I don't like I don't want my shining to make you feel some type of way about yourself. Like, and I've always just been this courageous, bold, fearless, I'm gonna do it my own way, injustice, fuck that type of person. But I think sometimes that fucks with other people's sense of safety. Because then it looks like I'm a disruptor, which I am a disruptor. I mean, let's be fucking honest. I fucking hate this shit and I will scream it to the mountaintops, but I think that it threatens other people's safety. And I've historically just shrinked or just like, to try to make them comfortable, but I'm done shrinking. Like I do not have a tolerance for it. I will not be silenced. I will not shrink again. Like that's just not happening. But then it made me have to come to some realizations about certain relationships that I'm in and realizing that I had experienced narcissist. What led to my spiritual awakening was that the person that I dated was a combination of two people in my life that I loved. And he just married both of the fucking shits. And so like realizing the role that this other person played in my life and how that was narcissistic abuse because I had to keep being understanding. I had to keep allowing it. I had to keep, it's like I almost kept silent. Like I chose silence in those situations. And then as adult life happened, he's doing those same things are appearing in our relationship. And I just have to be the one that's understanding of it when like you're an adult. Like I can't be the blame for everything, or every time that you get upset or are drinking or whatever, it cannot be that I'm the villain when I'm not even doing nothing, So I just think that it just made me realize that I have let some of the people around me keep me small. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off so much because it's so hard for me sometimes to connect to people. It's so hard for me sometimes to be myself around people. And anybody who really knows me, I'm very exuberant. Like I am a time. Like we're going to have a time, but sometimes I feel like I can't even be that person because it makes me a target. Or people who have stifled themselves feel like I'm doing too much. And it's like, no, bitch, you're not doing enough. And you're mad at me for having the audacity to do some shit that you don't even got the balls to do. It just was this month has been a shit show. Let me just fucking say that much. This month but it's been so revealing. Like I needed this because I needed to see the deeper things that I had kind of hidden from myself. And like, now I know that if that ever shows back up in my reality, like I'm not going for that. Like you can cancel. I would literally not talk to you again. It doesn't matter how much I love you. Like I'm not going to tolerate people trying to put me into a box or make me seem like I'm the problem or weaponizing private conversations against me just to scatter the energy when they don't like the truth. Like I don't I'm not dealing with that. That shit's dead. And I feel like I'm a very vocal person, but when it comes to the people that I love, like I would rather just keep the peace, but I'm not keeping my peace. I'm keeping a peace. And so I just can't allow it anymore. Like, and I can't make it my business to make you comfortable with staying where you are. Like I think that sometimes like being the friend of somebody who evolves very quickly and is always kind of just up, like going somewhere. Sometimes it could make you realize how you're not going anywhere. And I think it could cause you to try to pull that person down or humble that person or whatever the case may be, or like even negate my spiritual journey. Cause I can't tell you how many people around me have like tried to negate the work that I've done. And I'm like, bitch, I haven't even talked to you in 4 years. How the fuck do you know what I got going on over here? And then that's where it comes back to your truth not having to, or somebody else's truth of you not having to be the truth, your truth of you, like unpacking the projections and realizing when it's projection and that other people's judgment of you really is just them projecting from where they are. They're projecting their own shit from where they are. LOL, she's watching. Who's watching? So yeah, I'm just in a different place. Like I think I have really, really understood. I really understand now what self-respect is. I really understand now what my worth is. Oh no, you okay. I really understand what my worth is. I really understand the importance of giving myself permission to exist as I am without trying to make myself less to make other people comfortable or without trying to fix other people. And like I really understand it now. Which I feel like I understood it before, but like it just came to a head in this month when it comes to integration, like really being able to notice it and knowing what I'm going to do in that situation and not compromising. Like I think I have been standing 10 toes down this whole month. Like, and if you don't like it, then you just don't fucking like it, you know? And I can't do nothing about it. It's not my responsibility to make you understand me. It's not my responsibility to make you get it. Like, I've been listening to Olivia Dean's album, The Art of Loving. Oh my gosh. Y'all know how I feel about a body of work. She ate that up. But in one of the songs, she was talking about, she said, like, if the next time that I say it, if you don't get it, then I don't care how I say it no more, because you just determined to misunderstand me. You know, like, I feel like I've had those moments so much in my life that I have just made it my business to try to get, like, to be more digestible, or say it in a different way, or prove it and convince. I'm done with that. That shit is dead. The video you did on self-respect lives rent free in my head right now. Oh, that's a good, girl. Because I think that's what's being anchored in right now, on a collective level. And so she ate me up. She ate me up. And it was way more like direct than I delivered it in the thing, because it was just like, if you just had some fucking self-respect, you don't got a problem in relationships. And I was like, damn, bitch, like, warn me, hold my hand, something. But then she was showing me, like, that self-respect is a frequency that we've been disconnected from, and it really is a higher frequency, like grace. She was telling me that grace and innocence are frequencies that a lot of us cannot tap into, because we've been disconnected and disembodied. And I was like, grace is a frequency. And it's like, yes, you, like, in order for you to be able to give other people grace, you have to have compassion. So that means compassion is a high frequency. So is grace. And that we've lost the art of grace. And because we've lost our connection to our emotions, and we don't realize that being able to feel is what allows us to give grace to other people. And it's not because we've had the same experiences as them, but it's because we felt the same emotions as them. So we don't need to have the same experience to understand what they're going through, because we felt the fucking emotion. And so that's what allows us to give ourselves grace, is putting ourselves in other people's shoes, or relating their experiences to ours, which is compassion. And so grace is a high frequency that we just have lost connection to. And then she also was talking about innocence. There's so many of us who have had our innocence robbed from us from a very young age, and we don't know how to get back into the purity of that energy, that childlike spirit of having fun. And, you know, just, I don't know, like, everything is so sexualized and everything is so whatever. And I'm not even saying that that's where she was going with the innocence, but that's what it made me think of, you know? And so she was talking about that as like a frequency that we have not been able to tap into. And she was also talking to me about wealth, because I've been going through a lot of like detaching my value from like what I produce. And she was telling me that wealth has to do with self-worth. Your concept of self-worth it's so much deeper than just money, right? It's about your self-worth. It's about your safety frequency. It's about whether or not you're willing to go with the flow when it comes to the universe. It's about trust. It's about receptivity. You know, it's not just about wealth. It's about your worth. Like, your concept of self-worth affects that deeply. So I've been having these moments with my oversoul, and just, I have like a feminine energy here, but it doesn't feel like the feminine that we think, because when she gives truth, it's very straight to the point, no fluff, no nothing. Like, it's very direct. And so she always reminds me that the feminine energy is not like, feminine energy can't come back until we start telling the truth. Like, that is the gateway back to wholeness, is truth. The reason why this society has been able to continue on the way that it does is because it operates in illusions and lies. That's the false light system. You need truth. And truth in the field of people who are emotionally fragile, people get defensive when you tell them the truth and you don't soften it, or you don't make it nice or whatever. But we are not supposed to be digestible. We didn't come here to be nice. We came here to be clear. So it's just been an interesting couple of weeks, because I think I've learned a shit ton of stuff, especially about like grace and just like these other frequencies that we've just kind of lost contact with. So yeah, it's been good though. It's all stuff that I'm going to put in my school, because I want to talk about like real topics. Like, I want to talk about how we were disembodied. I want to talk about the importance of water, the water in our body, and making sure that we mineralize ourselves, and talking about our nervous system and how to regulate the nervous system, but also how to do energy work. So move energy, sense energy, feel energy. And I'm going to use like songs. Like, I'm so excited about this part, because I feel like we just don't look at the world like art anymore. And that pisses me off, because everything literally is beautiful, like literally everything. But maybe that's just the tourist in me. I don't know. But like, I think like I was listening to that song by SZA. It's called Kitchens, and it's like a sample from the Isley Brothers. And like when I listen to that song, I get imagery when I'm listening to songs, and like helps me to understand the feeling. And like to me, it was like that daydreaming type of energy. But I feel like if you're not paying attention and you just you're not gonna catch like the deeper meaning behind stuff. And so yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to share with y'all the Soul School. I'm doing good. How are you? But yeah, I'm probably about to get off here though, y'all, because I do have a client in a couple minutes, in about 15 or 14 minutes. But I just wanted to hop on and say hi because I feel like I haven't been on this week. I haven't did readings in a minute. You know, I might be on here. Well, really, Thanksgiving is this week, but I'm not participating. So, hey, Geechee. Um, Yeah, so I'm doing readings right now, but I literally have to be gone in like 4 minutes. If you can, I mean, I'm doing well, I don't know that I have time because I'm about to head out, my love. I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you again. So excited for you in the school. Thank you, Brianna. Um, yeah, I would, but I know I'm gonna be running up on time and I have a meet and greet right after this. I might hop on afterward, y'all, because my meet and greet is only like 30-40 minutes. So I might hop back on tonight. Because I haven't got a chance to really connect with y'all. And I really should have went live at like 2 o'clock, but I had to eat. That's really what it came down to. I had to eat, child. And so and I made me a homemade pizza. And so that take a little bit of, putting your back into it. And so yeah. But I might hop on after this because I just have a quick little meet and greet. It ain't nothing too major. Um, but I might have back on after because I just haven't had a chance to connect with y'all. And I um love just hopping on here talking to y'all about random stuff and just whatever comes up comes up. Like I think those are probably my favorite lives is when I don't have a motive and I just hop on and y'all start talking to me, I start talking to y'all, and next thing we done stumbled into some gems or something. Um so anyways, I love y'all. I gotta go. I might be on here again. Give me like 45 minutes to an hour. I'll probably be back on here. So yeah, love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon.